Hi, good morning and welcome to this morning's meditation on the Peace and Love page with me, Deanne. How are you all? Not sure what's happening with the light on this. Anyway, won't worry about that. You can probably see what I mean. It's like really bright, but it's not very bright, so I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, how are you all? And where are you tuning in from? I'm here with this morning's meditation. I've got wet hair today and again I lost track of time a little bit, but we're okay. I don't think I'm too late. Hi. So what shall we talk about today? I guess I just want to know how you're all doing, really. It's quite cold here. It's kind of gone from spring to winter. No, not quite, but it is cold. It's really cold. And I've even had to put a hoodie on, which isn't mine actually, belongs to my son. But I love it. I love these whatever these are, things on it. But it's quite cloudy and it's quite dull outside. But it's warm in our hearts, isn't it? And it's sunny in our hearts, so that's the main thing. Anyone got any questions? Because that always helps me direct where this is going to flow to. Questions are always helpful. I don't think I've dried my hair quite enough. It's kind of dripping everywhere. This is getting longer and longer. I might put some coconut oil in it actually later. Have any of you done that? It's really, really good for your hair. I did mention it yesterday, along with a few other things. Hi USA. Ah, you're from Brazil, right? Wow. Oh yeah, I should say good morning, good afternoon and good evening, because I know you're all from all over the place in the world, so it's all different time zones. Hi, good morning. It's lovely to see a few of you here. Ah, great, you did put coconut oil in your hair. Fabulous. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it. I think I might need some more coconut oil though. I did check my jar, it's not quite so full as I thought it would be. But yeah, I think I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, maybe I'll have a little think about what other tips and things I can share with you. I know one thing. I've got lots of smoothie recipes on my YouTube channel, because I went through a phase of making smoothies every morning, like juices and smoothies, and putting all kinds of yummy stuff in them. And actually I did notice massive benefits with my health doing that. So I do highly recommend that. I'm not sure what's going on with this light. It's making me look older than I actually am. But never mind. Yeah, so I highly recommend smoothies and juicing, but I'm more of a smoothie girl really to juices. Yeah, because you can use any kind of milks, you can put any kind of fruit in, and vegetables, which is a really good idea, and nuts and seeds and oils. And actually, if you're taking multivitamins, you can put those in your smoothies too, which is really good, because then you just whiz it all up together. And you have a glass of pure vitamins and healthy, yummy, nourishing stuff first thing in the morning. So it's really important to do that. I'm just reading some of the comments. Oh wow, Netherlands, Caledonia, Crawley. Where's Crawley? Is that near London? Anyway. Yeah, sure, I can send you some love and peace to New Jersey. Absolutely. Yeah. Anyway, on that note, does anyone have any questions? And then that will kind of guide me as to what to talk about before we go into the meditation, because I kind of want this space to be a health and well-being space. That's what I'm feeling at the moment, because we've been covering lots of meditations. I think we're on like day 35 or whatever it is now. I'll check. I will check actually and let you know. But also, you know, I'm doing lots of healthy things myself, looking after myself, getting out for walks. It's near Gatwick, right? Okay, thanks. So yeah, smoothies, coming back to that again. So you can put oils in, nuts, seeds, fruit, vegetables. Spinach is really good in smoothies. Bananas are really good in smoothies. Avocados are also brilliant because they make it go really creamy, which is nice. Dates. Yeah, you can really experiment and put lots of different things in. But as I was saying, I do have lots of smoothie videos. Actually, I've got them on my Facebook as well. They're on my Facebook and they're also on my YouTube channel. So maybe I should put that underneath this video. Well, it will be underneath this video actually in the comments later on, but you'll have to come back and check for that. But yeah, I did them every day for weeks and weeks, and posted all the videos on Facebook so I could inspire people. And I was inspiring people all over the world. It was quite cool actually. People who'd never thought about doing smoothies or juices or anything were like, oh, I've had an idea. You give me some ideas. Right, okay, thank you for your question. What is the best way to start meditation? Yes, of course, because that's one of the main reasons we're all here, isn't it? Well, the best way to start meditation is by starting, to be honest. So, for me, the way I'm sharing meditations here are to make it as easy for you as possible. So the primary thing that you can do that brings you into that space of peace and meditation is to focus on your breathing, is to connect with your breath and to be with your breath. That's the primary thing that you can do. If we're coming back to basics, then the ideal way to do meditation is to find a quiet room, quiet space, where you can be on your own, totally undistracted from anything. Of course, you switch off any distractions. Ideally, no music is the best as well. And to sit with your back straight so that all your chakras and energy centers are in alignment. You sit with your back straight, your legs crossed, ideally. That's usually the way to meditate. It's like a traditional way. And your hands facing towards the sky, palms on each knee, and back straight, head straight, everything straight, but also very relaxed as well. So you might need a cushion to sit on and a cushion behind your back, for example, or like me, sit on the sofa with a cushion behind your back just to keep you upright. Also to make sure that you have maybe eaten just something little and had some water or something, just so that your stomach doesn't rumble all the way through the meditation and distract you, because that can happen, of course. And then once you've got yourself into that position, you can just begin to focus on the breath. Thoughts will come and go. Most people are used to very busy minds, but if you can just watch the thoughts, begin to learn how to watch the thoughts, and that will really help, because it is a process of awareness. Meditation is a process of awareness. It's becoming aware of of everything. If you can focus on the sounds in the room, basically anything that is going to distract your mind from creating a whole busy story about everything and anything. But if you sit there and go to yourself, right, I'm not going to think of anything, I'm going to meditate, I'm not going to think of anything, then you're just going to be thinking of everything because it has the opposite effect. So the best way to do it is to sit up straight, close your eyes, go within your own being, and just to be aware of the breath and to watch the thoughts. And just notice when thoughts are coming. And what will happen is, as you watch for the thoughts, the space between the thoughts will get bigger and bigger and bigger, until eventually, when you've practiced and practiced and practiced meditation, it just becomes a way of being. And instead of in your mind, in the busyness of your thoughts all the time, you're actually experiencing a lot of periods of space where there doesn't appear to be any thoughts, where you just have clarity and peace, because it's the mind that creates all the suffering and all the unrest and all the challenges and all the problems. The way that we think about things. So there's your clue. It's the thoughts. When we believe in our thoughts about things, it creates our suffering. So the practice of meditation reduces the suffering by quietening the mind and eventually quietening the mind so much that the mind gets less and less attention, the thoughts get less and less attention, and you are able to just be in a space of peace more than you are in a space of mind busyness. For me personally, it's taken a long time and a lot of experience, various spiritual experiences and physical experiences, life experiences, and practicing meditation even before I realised what I was actually practicing. So I was like 7 when I kind of started to practice meditation. And the practice of meditation is really, it's about just simply being. You know, we have this idea that we're human doings and we have to do this and do that, and you know, the whole life is created by doing stuff. But when we just allow ourselves to be, that is actually what meditation is. It's being in that space of being and not doing and not striving for anything. That doesn't mean to say that things won't happen, things won't evolve in life, but there's kind of a letting go, as a non-attachment that kind of appears from that space of peace, really. There's, you know, you're not clinging on, and that's the other thing actually I need to say is about clinging on to the thoughts. So imagine like your mind is the sky. It's always a good analogy, this one. And the clouds are thoughts, and they just, you know, come along. And it might be you have a thought about something that's not so great, you know, maybe a thought about yourself that's not very kind towards yourself. And instead of just watching that thought go by as if it's a cloud in the sky, you go, oh yeah, that's true, and oh gosh, yes, and who said that? And you get into this whole trip about that thought, you know. Before you know it, you're hooked in to that thought and all those ideas and those beliefs and those conditionings about that thing. So this is the practice of staying centered within you, in your being, and not keep getting caught up in the and clinging to the thoughts and the ideas that come to us. I hope that makes sense. I'm trying to explain it as clearly as possible from the standpoint of simplicity. Yeah, well, overthinking. I mean, we're taught to overthink, actually. Society is created around that premise, if that's the right word, to overthink everything, to think about what we do have, and if we think about what we do have, then there must be something missing that we don't have that we also need to think about. And there's a structure to that, isn't there? The way that our life should be, the structure that's given to us in society, and if we don't fit into that structure, then we think about what's wrong with us, or you can go on forever. That's the whole point, actually, that thoughts just go on forever. Everything can be thought about if you will allow yourself to get into that. And but the most damaging thing is the negative thoughts, the negative self-talk, the negative viewpoints. And when we really believe those things about ourselves, the negative viewpoints, the negative thoughts, then that it really does lead to deeper suffering and often depression, and then escapism, wanting to escape the thoughts, which is what causes addiction ultimately, is wanting to escape our thoughts. So if we can train our body minds to focus on the space between the thoughts, to recognize that thoughts are just simply thoughts and they're not the truth of our experience, then we can separate what we are, because we are already separate, hence the fact that we can see them, and remain within our own being and not become caught up in the story all the time. Hence, and this getting caught up in the story is the overthinking. I hope that explains. I hope that answers your question. It's a good question. So, anybody else got any questions about meditation or anything that I've just said? And if you don't understand what I've just said, then please do say so, and I will do my best to explain in a simpler way. But hopefully I've covered it. So I can see there's quite a few of you. Where are you all from? Are you going to let me know? Or are you just going to watch and not say anything? Which I also, I also understand. Do any of you have any more questions about anything, really? I'll just give you another moment if you do. And then, great, I'm glad you found it helpful. Hi, London as well. Thank you. Glad that's helped. Great. Good. Because, it's easy for me to say it because I understand it, but explaining it to you, that's my challenge really, is to explain it in a way that's as clear and helpful for you as possible, and as simple a way as possible. Great. Another question. Lovely. I'm loving this. Right, are guided meditations helpful? Yes, they are. Hi, Manchester. Good morning. Yes, all meditation is helpful, because for some it's not so easy to just, as I explained earlier, it's not so easy to just sit and be with yourself. That can take practice. So another way to meditate is to use guided meditations. I often guide, when I'm doing these, I guide a little bit in the hope that you will also go your own way. So I don't want to guide you through the whole thing. I give some space for you to really connect with your deeper self and go your own way. But yes, absolutely, I think guided meditations can be very, very helpful. and so can there are all kinds of guided meditations available. So find a one that suits you, that is the best for you, and use that as part of your practice. Definitely. Yes, well, that's a great question as well. Can I meditate while being active? Yes, you can. And actually, running is a great meditation. Meditation means to be in that space, in your centre. So you can meditate whilst you're doing any activity, but it does take a bit of practice to get to no practice. That's the irony. So again, it's about focusing on the space between the thoughts, coming into your centre. So you focus on whatever you're doing. So instead of running and thinking about what you're going to have for tea, or what shopping you've got to do, or what cleaning, or what this person said, or what that person said, or where you're going away, or you know what I mean, any story, focus your full attention on running, on training, on yoga. Yoga's a really good one because yoga is meditation in form. So the way that you do the postures and you follow you do the asanas, you follow the yoga sequence, is focusing the mind, because you can't really think too much about what else is going on, or you might just fall over, for example. So running, if you're doing running, if that's what you mean by being active, then focus on the running, focus on the breathing, focus on the movement, focus on where you actually are physically in that moment, because that's the other thing. Thoughts are not are always taking us to something that isn't happening now. So when we fully focus our attention, which is what meditation is, when we fully focus our attention on what's happening right now, right here, that is meditation. So having a glass of water or a cup of tea, if you are fully focused on the glass, the water, the action of drinking the water, and your mind isn't wandering off to other things, then that's also meditation. So you can meditate while you're in the gym, but then that would mean, not talking to people, not having distractions. It would mean fully focusing on where you are and what you're doing. I'm just reading another question now. Well, thoughts will come and go. Some of them are negative, some of them are positive. But again, it's your thought about the thoughts that make them negative or positive. So as long as you're believing the story of the thoughts, then that continues to create suffering. But if you try to remove negative thoughts, then you're constantly going to be trying to remove them, because it's not about removing them, it's about not giving them attention, not focusing all your energy on them. I'm so pleased that that's been helpful for you to understand. Good morning, sorry. Good morning. Can't understand all of that, but thank you. Yeah, fabulous. I had a feeling you meant running when you said active. I could just see you running. Funny. Anyway, that's my intuition. Yes, meditation does, great question. Meditation does help sleep patterns improve. Absolutely, yes, especially at this time. But also there are other factors that come into that. So there are physical factors like your age, what you do as a job, what your usual sleeping pattern is, what's going on with your hormones, the time of month, all kinds of things. But generally, meditation does help you, because what it does is it puts you into a state of relaxation, and then it becomes easier and easier for the body to relax. and once you are able to relax more easily, you can fall into a deeper sleep more easily. So it's very helpful for sleep. And also listening to a guided meditation as you're falling asleep can be really helpful too. I do recommend that. I have done that myself. I mean, the things that I've used, actually, probably a good point to share this with you, is I've used guided meditations, and all kinds of guided meditations really over the years, and also just sitting quietly, as I mentioned before, the guidance that I gave you about how to start a meditation practice. And there's just so many different things out there now, different types of meditation music, all kinds of things that can help you to drift off to sleep more easily. But the main thing is no coffee, no tea, no stimulants before you try and sleep. Comfortable space, make sure your space is warm enough because that helps with sleep too. And yeah, to create a nurturing, nourishing environment for yourself so that you can feel comfortable as you sleep. I'm just going to answer another question. Hope that answered your question about sleeping patterns, and if not, please let me know. Yes, well, when we're born, we're not born with all these ideas and constructs and thoughts about everything. That's a process that is downloaded, for a better word, a process of conditioning that happens. So when we're children, we do meditate more easily because we are in that space of meditation. We're not constantly judging everything that's going on around us. We're not constantly having preconceived ideas about everything because it's all new and it's all fresh. And so we face each day as it's new and fresh, and we face each moment as it's new and fresh. And that's the play of life, that's how we play as children, from that place of meeting each moment, from a place of joy and inquisitiveness and openness and non-judgmentalness, shall we say. And that is meditation as well, these are all parts of it. Yes, absolutely, of course it is. It's our natural state. So many children are in a meditative state because that, like I said, then they've not got any preconceived ideas, they've not got any, they have very little conditioning on them at that stage, and it means that they are meeting each moment in life with joy and the fullness of their being. They've not got any preconceived thoughts or ideas, and they're not following those thoughts, those thought patterns. So it is our natural state of being. Meditation is our natural state of being. And as we grow older, these parts of ourselves get taken away through different experiences and too many thoughts and what other people think, and we just build this idea of ourselves that isn't a peaceful idea. I hope that makes sense and answers your question as well. Great, I'm glad that I did answer the question about sleeping patterns. Yes, it is a mental break. That's exactly what it is. It's a break. Meditation is the break from the mind. The mind has a function, of course, because it helps us with practical things. But if it's given too much energy, too much power, and too much focus, then it can become destructive. It can become negative. It can become very difficult to get out of. I from my own experience, I think meditation does help with bringing us into a more balanced, positive, if I use that word, state. Yes, it does. As far as our dreams are concerned, I guess that's a whole other investigation as to why you're dreaming what you're dreaming. What are you putting in your body before you go to sleep? What are you watching? What are you reading? What are you exposing your intelligence, your consciousness to before you go to sleep? That's the question there. So there may be things that are creating negative feelings in your dreams that you are exposing yourself to through the day or throughout the evening. So look at those things that you're feeding your mind with, essentially. Because we absorb, we're like sponges. From when we're very little, we absorb the world around us. We absorb what our peers teach us, what our parents teach us, what our teachers teach us. We absorb all this stuff. We're just like sponges. We're open, and we are in a state of innocence. And by innocence I mean clarity, playfulness, clarity, purity. But as we begin to take on all these thoughts and ideas about who we are, what the world is, we build an identity for ourselves, and then we invest in that identity. And meditation takes us to a place where there is no identity, essentially. When we're meditating, when we're truly meditating, we're not thinking about who we are or what life is, or we're just in a space of meditation, in a space of clarity, in a space of purity, in a space of truth. And none of those other things matter. And certainly in meditation there is no suffering or problems, and I'm sure you'll notice that. Which means that then it's much easier to see where that suffering and problems are coming from. And it's the thoughts about everything. It's the way that we think about the things that are happening around us. Okay, great. Anyone got any more questions before we get on with the meditation? Thank you. I'm so happy that you've all opened up this morning to share things that you've wanted to share and get answers to. It's great, really lovely. And it shows that you are learning, which is what it's all about. And that's what I'm here to help with, because of course I couldn't teach any of this or share any of this unless I hadn't been through it myself. So that's how it works. And also when I'm sharing, it helps me understand even more what I've already learned. So it works both ways. It helps you and it helps me. It refines the way that I explain things, and it refines it refines it all. Thank you. Okay, so any more questions before we go on to the meditation? Get them in quickly. Got time maybe for one last one? Just give you a moment. Hi, good morning. Oh, you're welcome. Okay, let's all just take a breath together now before we go into this morning's meditation. So, taking a deep breath in, breathing in, and breathing out. And another breath in, and breathing out. And please do feel free to share this now before we start the meditation in your groups with your friends, wherever you want to share it, so that more of us can join and those questions and answers can reach more people, for anyone else that may be experiencing the same kind of things. So make sure you're warm enough. I've got another blanket here handy, and reasonably comfortable, ideally with your back straight. That's the best way. We're going to, just going to move this a little bit. We're going to start by just noticing how we're actually feeling in this moment. So resting your hands on your knees with your palms facing up, hands relaxed, back straight. Might need a cushion behind your back. Breathing easily, gently, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the neck, head, just relaxing the body. And just noticing how you feel in this moment, noticing how the body feels. Maybe notice what's happening with the mind. Is it busy or quieter? Just notice what's happening. Are there noises in the room or outside the room that you can hear? Notice your heartbeat. Might be just a very faint beating of the heart. You know, a light, not a heavy, not heavy. Notice the breath moving in and out through the lungs. Just noticing the body. We're often so caught up in the mind and ideas and thoughts about everything that we don't even notice our own body. We don't even bring our attention to our own body. And when we don't bring our attention to our body, this can lead to making, not making the best choices for ourselves. So when we bring our attention to the body, we bring our attention here now, into this eternal now. So closing our eyes now, hands resting on your knees, breathing easily, gently. Back straight, everything relaxed. You might need to take a slightly deeper breath in now. And just noticing the heartbeat. I'm beginning to notice just how you feel and any sensations in the body. Just becoming acutely aware of the body and how you're feeling. Our bodies are our temples. We experience life through our body, and life happens because of our body. So to pay attention to the body is in itself a prayer. And when we focus our attention on the body, the mind has no choice but to begin to become quiet. The mind has no choice but to rest in the presence that we are. Breathing easily. When we really listen to our bodies, we develop a new line of communication. Then our bodies will let us know what we need to nourish us, to take care of us, to be in our best health and well-being. Right now, in this moment, allow your body to let you know anything that is needed. The body has its own wisdom, its own intelligence. It is breathing and functioning and healing and restoring and regenerating and communicating all the time. consciously bring your attention to the body and continue to bring your attention to the body. And as you do this, notice what's happening. And if thoughts come, just bring your attention back to the body. And taking a slightly deeper breath in now. breathing in and breathing out. Notice how the body feels. Noticing the silence in the room and outside. And you can slowly begin to open your eyes. And you can have a stretch if you would like. Thank you for joining this morning's meditation. If you're just seeing this now, this meditation will be live on the Peace and Love page for you to watch from the beginning in a few moments' time. I'm Deanne. You can connect with me on Facebook at Deanne Awakening Love, or my other page, Deanne G. And these meditations are sponsored by the Peace and Love page and their website, which is www.peace-and-love.co.uk. Please do check that out. Please connect with me for meditation and my sharings. I also did mention my smoothies on my YouTube channel, so my YouTube channel will be put in the comments below this video somewhere. So please do check that out and help yourself to the recipes. Create some wonderful, nourishing concoctions for yourself every morning. I highly recommend it. It's really good for the skin, energy levels, and the body. So much love to you all, many blessings. Have a beautiful day or evening or afternoon wherever you are.